But clearly sanctions have had some impact on the regime, but we've also seen that this is a regime which is quite prepared to, this is a regime which has a high tolerance for economic pain, as long as, especially that pain is of somebody else's. So they're quite prepared to see the Iranian people suffer. They're quite prepared to see oil fields rust. Equipment in the oil fields rust because they can't get new equipment to renew the oil fields. They don't really care. Economic pain is not tremendously important. Khomeini said, remember, right after the revolution, there were sanctions, worldwide sanctions against Iran and the seizing of Iran's assets. He said, well, this doesn't matter because the revolution is not about the price of watermelons. Who cares about the economy? It doesn't matter. We are about an ideology, which is why, Bruce, we cannot treat the Islamic Republic of Iran like an ordinary country. It is a regime. It is an ideological regime. It does not respect its people. It does not have the same cost-benefit analysis that an ordinary country would have. If you ask the regime, or you look at the CIA fact book, I think it's 99% Shiite. That's not true. In fact, Iran is maybe a majority Persian, maybe. Not even certain that that's true either. You have, we don't have a map here, but let me just take a figurative map of Iran. I can't draw. Can I write on this board? Okay. I can't draw, so please forgive me. So we're just going to do it like this. And like that, okay? Here's the Persian Gulf. Here's Iraq, right? Iraq. Here's Afghanistan, right? And Pakistan is down here. And the stands are all up there, all right? All the way around the periphery are Sunnis. You have Kurds up here, right? You have Abbazis down here. Abbas down here. You have all different kinds of Gulf Arabs, Baluchis down here. You have Baluchis down here. You have Turkomens up here near the stands, and you have various kinds of folks going all the way up. Baluchis mainly going up here. They're all Sunnis on the periphery. Only the heartland is Fars province, right, and Tehran. There in the capital. Now I see I'm going to lose my Iranian American people here. But if you dealt with the Azeri, excuse me, I forgot the Azeris up here. So there's something like maybe 12 million Azeris, 15 million Kurds out of a population of 70 million. So there's a huge population of minorities in Iran, and most of those minorities are Sunni Muslims, and there's not a single Sunni Muslim mosque in Tehran. Not a single one. They've been asking for 30 years of the regime, can we have a Sunni Muslim mosque? Not a single one. So you have religious repression inside Islam, inside the Islamic Republic, and you have people turning away from Islam all the time, and yet they proclaim themselves as the Islamic Republic, and they want to achieve an Islamic bomb to nuke Israel and to basically bring the 12th Imam back.
But they all make Persian carpets.
If all that is true, what's stopping all these people from creating a revolt?
What's stopping all those people from creating revolt is lack of organization, tremendous repression by the regime, training by the KGB in the early stages of the regime. You know, right after the takeover in 1979, the KGB basically trained Iran's intelligence services. How do I know that? Because I know the people who were involved in it, okay, personally. And so the KGB was in there in a very, very big way, you know, training them. How do you break resistance? How do you prevent opposition? How do you create a gulag? You know, how do you keep your people down? Because what the Soviets did for all those years, was what the KGB did for all those years. And the Iranians were great students of that. They learned it very, very well. They probably have the most effective intelligence organization in the world today. In the world today. I mean, if you consider repression, keeping the regime in power to be signs of success. We wouldn't in this country. But from their perspective, they've got a tremendously powerful and effective intelligence
I couldn't agree more. The regime is in control.
Yes. But they can be broken. They can be broken. They can be broken. It's another discussion, perhaps. They can be broken, but it takes a policy from us here in this country and a willingness to actually recognize the threat from the Islamic Republic of Iran, which we are not doing. We are not recognizing the existential threat from the Islamic Republic of Iran. They want to destroy us. The regime wants to destroy us. They say this openly. They say it openly. And the only reason they have not used a nuclear weapon against us is because they don't have one yet. That you can read in my novel. That I write about it.
Are you saying that?
I guess, how does that affect the regime, you know, not only keeping its power, but actually expanding it in the region? I'd kind of like to hear about that.
Yeah, this also gets back to perceptions and perceptions of weakness. They believe that we are weak. They believe that we are weak because we are not confronting them when they are confronting us. They're going out and killing American soldiers, and what are we doing about it? Nothing. You know, we arrest a couple of their people, as we did in Iraq. We had the Khazali network that we rolled up, that you know, our troops and intelligence people rolled up in Iraq. And you know, this was a network that was bringing in IEDs from Iran, giving them to the insurgents to blow up Americans, to kill Americans. And we arrested them. That was great. 2 years later, we released them. We turned them over to the Prime Minister of Iraq. He brings the Iranian ambassador into his office and says, oh, well, you know, we're going to give these people back to you. You're supposed to put them in prison. And they walked out and went home. And the Iranians see that, and they laugh. They laugh at us. They say, America's a threat to us. Forget it. We can defeat America. It's very simple. We are not even confronting them when they are killing us. That is the real problem that I've got with American policy. And by the way, it's not just Obama. This was during the Bush administration as well. You know, there was a view from the top of the Pentagon and the intelligence community and the State Department that if we confront Iran, we will have war. We will have another war. We will be at war with Iran, and we don't want that. Screwed up already in Iraq. Don't want to have a war in Iran. And I believe it was based on a flawed analysis of what was going on, and a flawed understanding of the Iranian mentality, and a flawed understanding of the regime. And in fact, our weakness merely encouraged further attacks and further deaths of Americans.
Did I hear you say that the Iranians have not used a nuclear weapon against us because they don't have one?
Yes.
That they would?
Yes. And they've said that they would.
I don't accept that.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question for you. Manal?
I guess I had the first question for you. The question is, how should
Tell them your name, Manal.
Sorry?
Your name?
Oh, sorry. My name is Manal.